patch notes, because we might as well, since like we're doing this boring freaking thing, we might as well actually get some value out of it in terms of knowledge about the summer update of 2024 as I try to get into a fight. And I'll let you know if I get the key or not, which I doubt it, but if I do, then the ritual definitely has to be to read like an update note. That's the ritual. It will confirm certain things that we want to know. Alright, let's see. So, summer update, the Cabal's Revenge, which basically, you know, long story short, it is the raid update, basically. Take revenge in the new Cabal's Revenge raid in the latest Wizard101 world update. No, never mind, my bad. Wizard101 update, it's not a world update. Currently on test realm, tournaments are back, but I'm not sure if there's any information on them yet, so we don't know. See what you think of the new boss rematch reboot. Rejoin previous wizards and new adventures through the recent wizard feature, and take a spin on the emote wheel, which in my opinion has to be like one of the best things I've seen, because now we can up our thumbnail game in Wizard101, because apparently this actually works while you're doing photomancy, so it's a huge quality of life update. We've also got tons of updates for Beastmoon, yeah, the usual. New guild achievements, spell changes, combat changes, much more for our wizards in this summer. Cool. And then we start things off with the raid. So, some feuds can never die, and for all the villains you faced and monsters you've defeated, there is one for whom hatred of the wizard has become so potent that they'll reward reality itself to see their vengeance satisfied, and they brought along some of the Cabal to help them. Not every member of that organization was happy about the recent developments, and they have gathered around at the abandoned fort in Polaris to make their displeasure known. Which looks kind of cool, honestly. I actually like the look of this raid. It looks pretty fun too. I've been told that apparently like it's actually not as hard in comparison to the Hunhao raid, which is the Azteca one, so that's a good thing. But obviously, content that's usually meant for like less than 1% of the player, or like actually not even less than 1%, probably just straight up 1% of the player base, which kind of sucks, you know, because they do work really hard on these, and it would have been great if they opened it to more people, you know? So rally your guild and prepare for your greatest challenge yet, facing off against not just one but 2 raid bosses. Interesting. So my guess is one of them is gonna be an old friend of ours, I guess, is my assumption. They are joined by familiar foes and evil twins as the Cabal makes their last stand. They say revenge is a best served cold, but it also is served to only level 170 players in coordinated guilds, ready to face the toughest obstacles Wizard101 has to offer. Speak to Gwen. Okay, cool. In Dondara, in Avalon, to begin the Cabal's Revenge raid. Got it. Then we also have like new spells as well, which I think we'll take a look at these spells in the future. They banned AoEs too, which is BS. Oh, for the raid? Yeah, that kind of sucks, but like it kind of makes sense in a way. Oh, one of them is the one that yeah, I remember that homie. It's like, I'll make a pet and even plant couch potatoes to beat you. Yeah, I remember him. Old friend, you know, friend of the stream. Alright, so we got new lore spells as well. Yeah, I was like, you know, we're doing this thing. I might as well just read the notes. You know, get some knowledge. I need the knowledge. Well, let's keep going. 5 new lore spells. Why can it not be 7? Like, you know what's so weird? Is that they put 5 for 5 schools, but like, yo, where's the other schools then? Like, you know, we might as well just give it 1 for every school. But nah. I guess to even things out, I don't know. I genuinely don't know why the decision was only for 5 schools, but it'd be like that, I guess. Oh, I got Myth Dispelled. Good thing I remembered. Because I was just about to use Orthrus. 5 new lore spells coming for the schools: Fire, Ice, Myth, and Death, and Balance. 2 of the lower packs and their associated gold skeleton key bosses have been updated to drop new spell elements and new gear. Each of these key bosses also have new reagents they will be dropping and an associated gear crafter outside their sigils. Interesting. You have Ninja Spellman Pack, so basically Takanobu and Cave of Solitude will be dropping the newest spells of the Monk of Morning. It will also be dropping Ice Elemental and Apocalypse. So Apocalypse doing 350 fire damage and detonating 2 overtimes. Very niche, but maybe there's some sort of use for it. The Ice Elemental, who has massive pecs, kind of crazy, does ice damage and basically is a Luminous Weaver. And you have Goat Monk with the Tower Shield. I'm not gonna lie, very boring effects, but at least they're fairly effective. I'll give them that. I'll give them that. Let's see. And I saw some of the spells looks. They look pretty cool. They look pretty cool. Can't really say too much about them though. And then you have the Night Spellman Pack, which is the Lore Master one. In my opinion, the best one is the Balance one. I think Balance kind of got the best one. Because, like, it's great to see that there's a spell that could be a minion killer, while also giving them, like, a... It's not a frenzy, right? But at the same time, it's like, it is a buff, nevertheless, that you just kind of get for free, in a way. If all you do is just focus on the side guy, the mob, and then just focus on the boss, but now you have an aura. So you can save, like, a round not having the aura, and just go for a hit. So, it's not bad. I think Balance probably got one of the best ones. Yeah, and the other two, they're fine. Like, Ice, good. Death, good. Pretty basic. But it's good. And then you have, the Balance one being, you know what it is. But it is Brave Sir Badger, 390 balance damage, and the Universal Damage Aura. Oh, so it's universal. That's even better. So, like, if you want to use, like, a dual schooling kind of strategy with Balance, then, like, yeah, you most definitely can. If you happen to have the right setup for it. Like, this helps a lot. I think Balance definitely got the best one, in my opinion. It's the best, and I wouldn't necessarily say unique, but at the very least, it's the more interesting of the, you know, utility-based spells that does damage. Then you have Reckon of Eden, which removes 3 positive wards, and then does 395 myth damage. I believe Splash Squatch does more damage overall for a single target hit, and the main reason is probably because it only removes one shield instead of like a multitude of them. So take that what you will. Myth one's pretty good. I think they're all pretty good. Myth one's just kind of more on the niche side, and the best one in my opinion will have to be the Balance one. Boss Rematch Reboot. Let's see what they do in this one, because I gotta know. Boss rematches are back. Not only are Arc 2 rematches newly available, but many other improvements have been made to the system to broaden the appeal and reach of these combats. In case you haven't seen before, boss rematches are one-time use housing items that contain single fights where you face the final bosses of each world. And sometimes these villains recruit some other creatures from the iconic encounters throughout the world that they're from. These villains are more difficult than what you fought when you fought them before. So gather your friends and help take them down once and for all. To create a rematch, harvest some reagents, blah 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 blah, blah. Visit Raquel, so like, you know, I guess great value Contessa in the arena, or your world's local housing vendor. After your first attempt, the rematch becomes cheaper to craft. Okay, so they kept the same formula with the crafting of the rematches. So what exactly changed is what I'm trying to find out here. Let's keep reading. Previously only available in challenge mode, players now... Oh, okay, so that's what's changed. So it changed... It has the option for standard mode. Okay. Both modes are based on the highest level of the arc. So Wizard City through Dragonspire are all level 50, and Celestia through Chrysalis are all level 100. If you're... Hold on. Let me do a spell. If you're higher than these levels, do not fret. You can join in the fun too. Now you can fight in standard mode using your current stats and spells at no cost to you. But that's too easy for you. If that's too easy for you, try challenge mode. You will be scaled to the level of the boss and will have to put your combat skills to the test. Like other challenge modes, you will receive a gold skeleton key for your first victory. Alright, how are we feeling about that? Cause like, I'm gonna be real, it's not enough. I'll tell you that. It's definitely not enough. I think the idea, whenever we had the roundtable with Val and Zepha and like the devs, I think the idea that Cam had to have like a couple of like, you know, hey, we'll have it to where it's going to drop other keys, and then with that you can basically craft up to a gold key, would have been a better system overall if we're going by that. But I don't know, maybe that is the thing. I don't know. Like, I haven't really done rematches in a while, so I guess find out and see for the future. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's fine. It's not enough though, in my opinion. But let's see. Morgan Saga ARC2 rematches. Morgan and her Umber Legion are preparing to take you out once and for all in combats that keep you on your toes, combine enemies as you've never seen them before. Okay, so this is just explaining like the ARC2 ones. You have Mytheria, which is the sun boss, I believe. Tsetse, which is Mirror Lake. The Pendragon, which my guess is that it's combined with the other dragons you face afterwards, maybe. Huak. I'm not sure who Huak is, I'll be real, I forgot. And then you have Morganth rematch specifically. Okay. There's reagents on it as well. Let's see. Harvested reagents are the reagents that you pick up off the ground while exploring worlds. Since these are a big part of how rematches were made, we thought we'd take the opportunity to improve the experience of collecting reagents. This audit includes two main components: acquisition and distribution. Currently, harvested reagents are something that you may see as you're questing and pick up on the occasion. But if you go out seeking to harvest many reagents, you can only get your hands on a few before you must wait for more to appear, like the cantrip chest. We have reduced the respawn rate by 5 seconds, so once you pick one up, you can immediately start looking for the next one. This part is still in progress and will still be ongoing across the next few updates, but for now, you can see this in Wizard City and in Avalon. Distribution-wise, there are some reagents you know where to find, but others that are more random and unpredictable. While some reagents like Cattail and Mistweb will still show up in many worlds, with this audit we have selected one reagent per world that will be exclusive to the world. Because of this, new reagents Flax and Rose have been added to Wizard City and Avalon respectively. This part is also of the progress and will be in effect with acquisition updates. So they're pretty much doing what, you know, for example, what like Genshin Impact does, or like other kind of like world type of like, I don't know, what's it called, like open world genres, where it's like certain stuff you get from certain areas instead of having it be like, oh, these are basically available everywhere. It's like, no, these are going to be very specific, so you can actually find locations and be a little bit more efficient in obtaining them. So I would say this is a pretty decent change. It's a decent change. Making them respawn faster is also good too. I would say that's decent. Decent change. Going to another run, by the way, y'all, if you're wondering. Did you know that your pet can also have... Yeah, we know about this. Yeah, it also brings more rewards. We're talking about the scouts. Basically, the scouts feature is what allows you to get some special rewards, if not extra rewards, from harvesting a reagent or obtaining a reagent in the outer world. Same thing like how a spiritual retriever and elemental retriever, but like those work for chests to give you spell elements and some TC. Each world's housing vendor now has a recipe to craft their world's rematch. Okay, interesting. Rematches are given as a badge reward after completing the Arc of the Worlds. Okay. Level 170 versions of gear available in Arc 1. Rematches have been added to Arc 2 rematches. I'm not sure what that means, but cool. is the feature that I was really excited for. The cosmetic item. So basically the Fortnite update. This is the Fortnite update, where you basically can quick command emotes, which is really good. Expressing yourself can be hard. Sometimes the emotion you want to convey is buried in some nested setting millions and hard to access. Thus, we bring to you the Radial menu. With a simple click of a scroll wheel, and I hope I don't get this spelled here, or center mouse button, or by pressing Shift E, you can have instant access to up to 40 emotes, which is huge. Big update. This changes everything, y'all. Then enter the emote or tap a number from 1 to 8 to play the effect. Oh, okay. Interesting. Does it tell you the number, or like... Yeah, like, will it tell you the number, or... is it just like, you know, clockwise rotation kind of thing? I guess it might just be clockwise, maybe. That might be what it is. Adding emotes to the wheel couldn't be easier thanks to the new cosmetic items tab in your spellbook, which I didn't know that was a thing. Zayfa told me about it because I was saying, oh, it doesn't work, and then Zayfa told me, it's like, oh, you know they had a new tab, right? It's like, yeah, I did not know, so I'm gonna check that out later. But long story short, this makes the, you know, thumbnail game for WizTubers, it should be better, because now, like, you can actually show the emotes and stuff a lot easier. I know for most WizTubers, what they do, at least to my knowledge, is like they get a friend to like be with them and take the screenshots for them so they can actually, you know, use it for like thumbnails and everything. But now you can just do it on your own from the looks of it, because I have been told that this actually works in Photomancy, which is actually really good. The Radial menu has 5 pages of 8 slots to choose from. You have the victory dances. Sick of seeing this one. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. One of those 5 will run. Okay. So you can do multiple victory dances. So like, it doesn't have to be the same one every time. And I guess same thing for the teleports. Okay, cool. But it doesn't necessarily mention it. But I did hear, also according to Zayfa, that this actually works in Photomancy, which is great. Because like now we can actually have some really good screenshots for thumbnails and everything. That's awesome. Love it. Absolutely love it. I still have yet to get the one, by the way, y'all. I'll let you know if I get it, but I have yet to get it. Very sad days. Alright, let's keep reading. Let's see. Recent Wizards. Recent Wizards are characters with whom you've recently shared an activity but aren't yet friends. The activities... Okay, this is a cool feature. The activities can be fighting together in combat or exploring the dungeon, hatching a pet, playing Beastmoon on the team, playing Pet Derby, playing on the PvP team, etc., etc. You may send a pixie post message to Recent Wizards, and if they are online, you may chat with them and teleport to them. You can right-click to inspect them. Recent Wizards are, using a card, sorted by the time that you last did something with them. Using the Sort Recent Wizards button, you may filter them by the activity that you shared. There is a setting option to disable the pixie post messages from Recent Wizards. Okay, cool. And I think this is, did it show the quick command? Okay, cool. I guess it didn't, but we'll find out later. Did I still not get this one? That sucks, man. I still have yet to get this one. Guild achievements. Yes, that's a thing now. Tiering a gallery of the Guild Museum to gold or completing a raid is a remarkable achievement. Both require a lot of time and dedication. We celebrate that the guilds have done these things. Talk to Lewin near the guild tree to view your guild achievements. So like, you know, what did your guild do that's very special for the day, I guess? Make you feel good. Please let me skip this. Why do I have to keep watching the same animation? I just want my key and be done with this place. I do like that it gives quite a bit of night sight though. Night sight is pretty rare. Okay. Social kiosk and improvements. Let's see what it says here. So it looks like adventure parties are permanent groups that okay. You may belong to up to 3 adventure parties, okay. You may belong to 1 guild, okay, cool. Check out the improvements that we made on the social kiosk. Adventure parties may declare multiple purposes via a button in the social window, and adventure parties' purposes are shown in this kiosk. You may filter adventure parties by their purposes and using the sort button. Okay, so quality of life there. Guilds show the items that they have unlocked. Hopefully I don't get dispelled. You may filter guilds by their unlocked islands using a sort button. The process of requesting to join a guild or an adventure party has been cleared up. Okay, so they just kind of make it a little cleaner, I suppose, and you know, add some extra features for quality of life. Okay, need Beastmoon forms if you care. Just to explain, you know, you have the Firewolf, so basically seems like this is somewhat minion based. Summons a minion. Oh, okay, or 300 heal overtime over 4 rounds if ally has a minion. Okay, so it summons a minion in base, or it just decides to use a heal overtime. Got it. Then you have a spell that is based off healing overtime. So if you have a healing overtime, it does more damage. Okay, interesting. So this one focuses on healing overtime. Got it. Balanced Draconian, that's a new form. You want to know something? They have more, you know, Beastmoon forms than they do hairstyles in this game. It's kind of insane. I'm just gonna lay it out there. Like, they have more Beastmoon forms probably than they do like hairstyles for boys and girls combined. It's crazy. That's an assumption, by the way. I'm not actually 100% sure, but it does feel that way at the very least. But yeah, I'm doing another run. Still no key, y'all. No key yet. Balanced Draconian, let's see. Heal overtime and gives a 50 damage shield. This one is a heal overtime, and I guess, assuming it's a bird, I would assume because it's the bird logo, it might be Pacify, which is the opposite of taunt, making it to where you'll target other enemies except for the person that it's being casted on. That's my guess. It's like the anti-taunt. I'm assuming that's just the anti-taunt. I could be wrong. And Pacify if the target has less than 50% health. Okay, that has to be an anti-taunt. That's actually a cool mechanic. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually a cool mechanic. Now, I will say AoEs kind of destroy it, but using AoEs and Beastmoon isn't necessarily as common depending on who you're going against. If you're doing Spiral, chances are you're gonna have someone out there that does happen to have an AoE form that can easily counter it. But if you're doing like the 2v2 battles, there's a really good chance that you can probably get away with using this, so pretty cool mechanic, not gonna lie. Then you have the Death Minotaur, 200 death damage or 300 death damage if you happen to have a charm. Okay, and then you have this, which is a 150 drain and clear a charm for a... Is that like a minus 150 weakness? It might be a... Okay, it might be a negative aura to put on someone. You put a negative aura on someone, so they do less damage for 2 rounds. That's my assumption. Okay, so kind of blade focus. These are pretty interesting forms to say the least, though. I actually really like the Balanced Draconian. I feel like if that's what I think it is, and it's like a Pacify, so like anti-taunt, then yeah, I think that actually might be good. That actually might be something that's needed. You know what's crazy? Like I rarely do Beastmoon anymore, but like I still find some of the stuff that it does that are pretty interesting. I do think that the mode itself definitely needs room for improvement, but overall I would say it's pretty interesting. You have the schedule here in case you are interested. You have the pets, you have the specific idols in case you want to unlock a form, and the idols are going to be from, you know, I guess a reward or so if you get there. So yeah, there's that. Let's see, school pip and other combat changes. Okay, this is a really big deal. So during the roundtable, Zepho specifically mentioned about the school pips and how it negatively affects like a lot of lower level players, because, you know, it's also for some reason based on the allies. So we'll see what they did to change this, but I heard that it's a lot better now than when it was initially. So Let's see exactly what it is that they change. My guess is that they basically just kind of have it to where the allies aren't affected. But we'll see. We'll see. Let me just do a fight real quick and then we'll read it in a second. We're almost done with the notes though. Okay. School pip generation is now determined by comparing your Archmastery stats against your opponent. Okay, boom. They fixed it. Chat, they fixed it. Okay, cool. They fixed it. So, one of my issues with like how it was before was that like there wasn't necessarily what I would consider a thing as Archmastery tuning. Now, for those who are a little bit confused on what I mean by this, in Honkai Star Rail, for example, there's a concept known as speed tuning where you're trying to meet a certain speed threshold on the character in order for them to be within a specific turn order to do a specific thing. Usually tends to happen with, you know, support characters, so they're fast enough but not too fast to where it might mess up the cycles with your damage user, with like your DPS character, stuff like that. So in Star Rail, yeah, there is such a thing as tuning because like you could just simply get like a new piece, right? And when you rock a new piece, you don't have to just specifically trash that old piece that you had. In Wiz, you had jewels, but the problem with jewels is that a lot of the jewels, specifically for Archmastery, unless it's like a jewel that's like, you know, similar to like Kroger Jewel where you could just, you know, unsock it, most jewels are shatterable, which means the moment you remove it, it's gone. So tuning is difficult to the point where it's non-existent. And it looks like, you know, they decided, hey, we're gonna change it up right then and there. And I'm really happy for it, so very, very exciting. And finally, it no longer affects the lower levels. It's about time. Okay, 50 rating, this player regenerates 2/3 every round. 75 rating, this player generates 1 every round. Okay. Okay. Just like basically how the rating works versus the opponent, I'm assuming. Okay. There's some bug fixes as well. Ivan the Greater now spawns as expected. Cyrus was offering improper spell training. Oh, I remember this. I remember this. This was so weird. Malice in challenge mode now drops pairs of spell elements as expected. Silent spells have expanded spell inspect descriptions. Bottom path Minotaur properly clears 4 shields. Thank God that spell was broken, and I'm glad they fixed it. Thunder Snake and Dark Sprite and Bloodbat's bottom path has been modified. I'm curious to see what the modification was, because like I do remember that I wasn't a big fan of Bloodbat's utility. We can probably log in the test realm real quick and see what it is. Stuns and damage AoEs have been changed to standard only and are no longer usable in advanced combat. Kind of an L in my opinion, but sure, whatever. Arc 2 bottom path treasure cards are now available at the PvP Crafter, Guild Crafter, and Portal of Peril Crafter. If somehow you can get those TCs, like, you know, with using Retrievers, that will be great too, in my opinion. Like how they did for Arc 1. Okay, how about the quest? Pre-first time user experience players should now get the library dues book quest in Wizard City. Private Quinn temporarily went missing in Firecat Alley. He's been found and has returned to duty. Several quest lights are now defaulted to being on. Various other quest light fixes, sigil in the Sultana's Palace, can now be repeated after finishing a quest. Various other sigil fixes and off the map doodle map clues are now in the right spots. Okay. Housing of guilds. Okay. There are now 1.5 hour versions of raid keys. Okay. It's nice because, like, I would assume, like, you know, less resources needed to be made, but more importantly, having it be 1.5 gives, like, you know, teams more, like, you know, better timing of, like, not being in the raid for too long. So, I guess it's pretty good. Juggernaut Crab Theater table now has collision boundary. Regal Castle blocks now supports 15 wallpapers and 15 tiles per area. Several bugs with the Regal Castle blocks have been fixed. Okay, what about crafting? Let's see what they did for crafting. Portal of Peril event now has a progress bar with fortune coins. That's big. That's big. Wait. That's actually big, I think. So like, I guess this, what they mean by progress bar, they might mean this, and it just gives you extra coins? Okay, that's pretty big. That's a pretty big change. I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty big change. We'll have to wait and see how it works, but that's pretty big. They also added 5 gauntlets to the Portal of Peril, so now there's a total of 6. So we don't know what the 5 are, but it's gonna be Sinbad and 5 more. So it might be the older ones, it might even be some of the newer ones like the Library Gauntlet. We have to wait and see. Several improvements to the Beastmoon UI. You can now click on your pet while playing as your pet. Badge leaderboard should no longer duplicate entries. Added recipes for Alchemy Stations Arcs 1 and 2. Badge leaderboard has been moved to Old Town. W change. W change. I love that change. That's a good change. Social systems plus invite a friend. Oh, yeah, they changed that as well. Yeah, they added some systems. You can now create an adventure party with 2 players in the group. W change. W change. New information added to invite a friend. Invite a friend tab in the social window. Okay. Social kiosk has been revamped. Information on the invite a friend window will continue to be adjusted prior to live realm. As with anything else, know that it can change suddenly during test realm. Okay. Oh yeah, they added more world elixirs, so now you can skip Midfaria, Midvalon, and Azteca. You can skip a couple places now, for those who care. Obviously, 25 crowns, you know damn well it's not going to be 25 crowns, so, you know, don't get your hopes up. They also sold the solution to the raid grinding issues, but if you're interested, let's see. Lots and lots of shop and other building light fixes, various UI corrections and improvements to dialogue and text. Several animations have been fixed. I don't think this kills, right? Definitely doesn't. And some bugs. Spells using the select target effect may display incorrectly a -1 damage. Oh yeah, I've seen this. Yeah, this looks so weird, man. It looks like a crazy formula. Arc 2 rematches are a work in progress and will be updated in future test realm patches. Okay, so I guess we'll have to wait till next week to see what it actually entails for us. But from the looks of it, I would say, since we didn't really get anything about tournaments yet, I would say this update is maybe like around maybe like 5 out of 10, maybe 6 out of 10. It's really unfortunate. The biggest thing about this has been really just the fact that it's the raid, which only like up 1% of the players have been able to do, are able to do. So that's a little unfortunate. And it didn't really expand anything about the accessibility of people to be able to do raids, because unfortunately guilds are very picky, and rightfully so, because guilds take a lot of investment in order to actually be able to do it successfully and efficiently. And plus, with the fact that raids still have a timer for some reason, which, yes, you can make an argument it adds to difficulty. The other issue is really the fact that it just kind of, you know, prevents other strategies from being able to be used, because you already have a timer per se, an invisible timer with the portal keys and stuff. To add another, to just simply like add another, you know, timer for like being able to complete one run is a little cringe. But other than that, I would say it's a decent update. I can't really say anything too negative that much. There are some stuff that kind of sucks, and I haven't really experienced everything. I think really, to determine if this is a really good update or just a pretty whatever update, I think it really is just going to be determined by if they ever bring out tournaments and how tournaments are going to be. Because apparently there might be tournaments within this update, but it hasn't really been official yet. We might have to wait till next week to see if the notes change, because there hasn't been notes for tournaments yet. But other than that, I would say pretty decent. but we have to wait and see what the entirety of the update unfolds. So we'll just have to be waiting for that. I hope you guys did enjoy today's stream, and also if there happens to be a video, I hope that you enjoyed the video as well. As always, make sure to drop a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe and join and become part of the Frenzy Familia. Best way to stay up to date is either my community tab or Twitter, link is in the description. And as always, to everyone who is watching, always remember to stay frenzied and peace.